So I have the pleasure of being the first round pick, Bobby with the second, Paul with the third. We're going to do a snake draft system. And like we said last week, we're also going to be adding in a few curveballs every week. At least we're going to try to do it every week until we run out of ideas. But this week we're adding in we've been wanting to do this since we even started. So we added in power-ups. Okay, and you can think of like Uno or other board games where you can like steal things or swap things. So we added in those power-ups. So basically, each manager, me, Bob, or Paul, we have a steal card, which we're going to call the takeaway card. I tried to think of like football terms here. So takeaway is the steal. So that means that you can steal a player from anyone's team as long as it's after the third round. Okay, so you can't steal any player that's picked rounds 1 through 3. Okay, you also have what's called the flea flicker power up, which is like a swap card. So I can swap one of my players for one of your players. Again, that has to be after rounds 3. And then I had to think of some type of like defense power up where you can be like, no, bitch. So if someone tries to steal one of my fourth round players, and I really like that fourth round player, I think he's a sleeper pick, I can use my block card, which prevents him from swapping or stealing. However, once you use the block card, you can't use it again, which means that person's defense is completely open.
You could only use these once.
Yeah, you can only
Right.
use every power up once, but yeah, exactly.
And you can only, when you go to swap or steal, it has to be with a player in that round. So at the end of the draft, I can't swap my 7th round pick for Bobby's third. So
Got
it
it.
has to.
No, so basically you're gonna use your offensive power ups, the takeaway and the flea flicker. You use that instead of a draft pick.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure you can't hold it until the end and be like, oh, by the way,
Correct.
I'm going
Yeah,
to swap
yeah.
my
And for the record, you can only take someone's fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh pick away. You can't take their first, second, or third. And you use those offensive power ups instead of your draft pick. Now, I'm thinking this might happen. I'm not sure if it's guaranteed to happen or not. But of course, if it gets to like the end of the draft and you have an empty slot, you just get to pick from those leftover players.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can get lucky and maybe it works out. So I'm interested to see how this goes. If we have to make any kinks to it, we'll do that for next week. But again, we're just trying things out. We're trying to make things more interesting for our listeners. And if you are viewing our draft on YouTube, welcome. Thank you. I have to work as the producer here on how to make it more clear because the visibility of that first YouTube video was absolutely god awful. So I have to do some work on my end, but we're new, so we're trying everything out.
Let's get into it, boys. John, you're the first pick now, so get us rolling. Get us rolling.
All right, so I need to look up matchups here actually because I was not expecting to go first until just a couple of minutes ago. So let me just pull up my sleeper app here. Obviously, I'm in between Alvin Kamara, Cooper Kupp, and Patrick Mahomes, honestly. Those are like my 3 options that I'm looking into. So, oh, dude, I got Cooper Kupp against the Cardinals. Love that. Kamara, I'd rather take Mahomes, I think, over Kamara. Yeah, he's going against Pittsburgh. That's not horrible. I like that. And then Patty Mahomes. He just had a monster game against the Titans, and he gets to go against Jacksonville. Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Cooper Kupp as my first round pick.
Good pick.
No brainer.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp just has such a low floor, so I'm guaranteed at least like 20
You
points.
mean a high floor?
Yes, high floor. So I'm excited for him to join the squad. Honestly, Kamara, Mahomes, they're not going to make it back to me. I hope they do, but they won't. So I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp as my wide receiver 1 here, and he's going to play a big part in me winning a second week in a row.
Okay, John. So now it's up to me. And I think I'm going to again, the batch of players is definitely more difficult, but it makes it more fun this week. So there aren't many like no-brainers here. So, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go different on my strategy as opposed to last week and go a little contrarian here, considering it's DFS and we're only going based on 1 week. I'm going to go Pat Mahomes here.
Very smart.
I want that positional advantage, and Pat Mahomes has been money this year. If I'm looking at his stats right now, his lowest scoring game, he had a couple like 17-point games back in weeks 2 and 3. But other than that, it's been 23, 30, 19, 26, 34. He's home against Jacksonville next week. I expect to be more of the same. But Paul, let's see what you got.
So I'm kind of pigeonholed here. I have to go with Alvin Kamara on the turn. I have to.
Yeah, you shouldn't be pigeonholed. I'm not going to say it's easy, but you've got to.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's
It
the
is.
obvious pick. I have to go Kamara. Yeah, so I'm going Alvin Kamara for my first round pick.
All right.
Locking that in. But then it gets a little. What do we do? What do I do?
It gets very dicey after. It gets very dicey.
It does get a little crazy here. So right now, who's leading my brain right now is Christian Kirk. I'm leaning towards him, leaning towards grabbing him. He had a really good week this week against the Raiders, who, again, it's the Raiders. Take it with what you will. But he did have 9 targets, 8 catches, 70-plus yards, and a touchdown, which is a very solid week. But then who's also piquing my interest, who's come out of nowhere, is Brandon Ayuk. So the Niners had a bye in week 9. And let me just run down Ayuk's last 3 weeks: 28, 15, 20. Coming off of a bye, he gets the LA Chargers, who I think Kyle Shanahan will just completely outclass them. I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I haven't even looked at his targets. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's a good pick, Paul. Nice job. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk I'm going to lock him in. He's had 28 targets in the last 3 weeks.
All right, perfect. Bob, you are up with the second pick then.
Yeah, these are going to get really interesting and really tough really quick. Because I would not want like many of these guys. I mean, there's some that I would want on my team, but none of them are like no-brainers like last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't feel fantastic about it, but I don't feel fantastic about many of these players, to be honest. I'm gonna go Terry McLaurin here.
Against the Eagles.
Yep. All games completely game script dependent. I expect the Eagles to do exactly what they've been doing and jump out to a lead. And regardless of whether they jump out to a lead or not, the Redskins are oh, I didn't say it.
Canceled again.
Oh, canceled, dude.
But regardless, the Commanders are going to have to score points to beat the Eagles, and McLaurin is their best playmaker. For some reason, he doesn't do anything in the first half and then ends up putting up a decent amount of points in the second half. So if that changes this week, I expect a big game out of him. But Commanders are going to have to score points against the Eagles. So I'm taking Terry here as the number 1 option on the Commanders.
Monday Night Football in Philly, too.
Yeah, definitely some upside here. I expect the Eagles to win, handedly. But there'll definitely be points for Terry McLaurin to be had.
All right. So I'm up. I got 2 picks right here. I already have the wide receiver position filled. I think I'm going to double down on the wide receiver position here. And I'm going to go against a guy who in the last 2 weeks, he's scored 17 points and 14 points. I'm going off a sleeper here. And honestly, this offense is just potent. And it doesn't matter which receiver you pick. You can have both of them go off. You can definitely have one of them go off. But I'm guaranteed one of these receivers are going to go off. And the other one's not even on the list. So, yeah, I'm going to go with DK Metcalf here. I'm going to double down on the wide receiver position.
Oh, I didn't even see him. I'm an idiot.
They got the Bucks, so I'm going to take that. And they're in Tampa Bay. So I'll take DK Metcalf here. I'm going to double down on my wide receiver. I'm hoping I can get 50 points out of those players there. So
50 points? Oh, my God.
Yeah, 25-25 between Cooper and DK. Yeah, last week the Seattle Seahawks, Lockett had 17 and Metcalf had 14. I mean, I love to see that out of a wide receiver duo. So I'm going to go with DK Metcalf here. And then, let's see, we really don't have that many good running backs to choose from.
Yeah.
It would be like Swift, Zeke, And then I
Najee.
guess Najee, but I don't want to draft him. I'm leaning Swift here just because I know they're going to slowly work him into the snap count here, but he only got 2 freaking carries last week. And he honestly made the most of it. He was able to get 8 points out of 2 carries and 3 catches. So if he can just squeak in a freaking touchdown, that would be awesome, man. Oh my God. What do I fucking do? All right. You know what? I'll just do it. Oh my God. I'm going to go with,
Come on, John.
I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift. I'm just going to hope that he does well here.
That is wishful thinking. I hate him.
I know.
I hate DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan either. It's just out of the running backs to choose from, it's either him. Who has a higher ceiling? I guess Zeke, but I don't know how healthy he is. That's the only reason why I'm not jumping towards Zeke.
Zeke also kind of splits with Pollard too. So
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get stuck with Kareem Hunt and all those guys, like Kareem Hunt and Najee as my running back. So I might as well just hope that Swift gets worked in a little bit more into the offense. So DeAndre Swift, please do well.
yeah.
Bob, you're up.
Okay. I am gonna go again. This isn't easy by any means. Who are the Cowboys playing? So I think I just got to go with the guy with the most upside here, to be honest. I'm going to go Christian Kirk here.
Smart for you because you went with the quarterback that first round. So to fill up you have 2 solid wide receivers and an amazing quarterback. I think your roster's looking pretty good right now with Patty Mahomes, Terry McLaurin, and Christian Kirk.
Definitely be hoping on a breakout game from a lower tier running back, but honestly, the way the matchups turned out this week, that's really all you need. You need one of those lower guys to have a big week, and then you're right there. So Christian Kirk it is.
Christian Kirk. All right, nice. Paul, who are you going to take for your 3rd round?
So right now, I did Christian Kirk. He was my favorite receiver that was on the board, and then Bob took him. But I think what I'm going to do with my 3rd round pick, it's not going to be flashy, and it's a guy that I think gets forgotten about in fantasy football just because his team isn't doing that great. But I think I'm going to go Alan Lazard with my 3rd pick. Tough matchup, but he is coming off of 10 targets. He didn't play the other week. 7 targets, 9 targets. So again, volume is key. Volume is huge in fantasy football. So do I love picking a wide receiver as my 3rd round pick when I do have other holes to fill on my team? No, but I think that Alan Lazard is definitely the best talent on the board still. So I'm going to go him against the Cowboys with my 3rd pick.
Nice. And honestly, real quick about the Packers, we just were expecting a little bit more out of Aaron Rodgers in particular. I figured that he could find a way to make the Packers a better team, and it's just not working like that. I know he signed that extension, but I see Aaron Rodgers looking for an out in the offseason for sure.
Dude,
or retirement.
Forget an out, man. He might just retire.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but yeah.
And I wouldn't blame him, honestly. I would blame him because you signed a 3-year contract. You should play your entire 3 years. Don't be a pussy. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers is hosting Jeopardy this year.
All right, so we're 3 rounds down, which means we got 4 rounds to go. So the players available on the board now, all 3 of us need a tight end. I can see this maybe becoming a tight end round. Maybe the 5th round could be a tight end round. But me and Paul both have to fill our quarterback slots. So we got, out of the tight ends available, we've got Dalton Schultz, TJ Hawkinson, Gerald Everett, and Cole Kmet. And in terms of quarterbacks, we've got Jimmy Garoppolo, we've got Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, and then we got a whole bunch of receivers to choose from. Jerry Jeudy, Chase Claypool are probably the biggest names. Keenan Allen, if you want to roll the dice. Michael Pittman. No one's going to draft Adam Thielen or MVS.
Dude, no one draft Michael Pittman. You'd be dumb if you did.
Yeah, true. And then running backs, we're getting slim here. I know Bobby definitely needs one, but he's got to choose between Kareem Hunt, Najee Harris, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Gus Edwards, Raheem Mostert, and Ezekiel Elliott. So again, that's another dice roller there. So we're going to start the 4th round with Paul, and we are now able to use our power-ups. So again, if you want to use your offensive power-ups, you can use them instead of a draft pick. I guess essentially you'd have to wait till the 5th round to use that anyway. But yeah, take it away, Paul.
Yeah, so like John said, we're getting a little slim pickings here on the skill position guys. So running back and wide receiver is a little slim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the clear cut best quarterback on the board, and it's Kyler Murray.
Nice.
So I'm going to grab Kyler and fill up my quarterback spot just because Kirk Cousins, I know the Vikings are 6-1 or whatever they are. They're playing well. But in terms of fantasy value, Kirk has not been anything above a 16-point ceiling. And Derek Carr just sucks. You suck, Derek. And Jimmy Garoppolo's not any kind of doesn't tickle me in my plums. So Kyler Murray at least has those rushing upside. I can hope that maybe he scampers for a couple yards, throws a few touchdown passes. We'll see where it goes.
It's crazy how, like, you see Devontae Adams scoring 36 points. You're like, oh, wow, Derek Carr must have had a good game. But in reality, like, all the yards that Devontae Adams gets is all the yards Derek Carr threw.
I know.
So even if Devontae Adams puts up 130 yards, that's 13 points for Devontae Adams and 6 for Derek Carr. So it's a weird concept where, like, an amazing receiver doesn't have an amazing quarterback. You see it with Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford too.
Yeah, it's weird how the Raiders have been so not weird, I should say. They've always been just mediocre, but
bro.
Yeah, they're like Devontae Adams is good, but then like literally they just managed to like completely not ruin Josh Jacobs, but now he's not really involved. Like you guys were really good when he was involved a lot, and now you just don't use him anymore. I always think about what NFL coaches are thinking. Like you see stuff that's working and you just decide to like, oh, let's try something else just for the hell of it. Like just don't fix what's not broken. But they always seem to try and be like the smartest person in the room and always like change things up. Oh, we got to be more creative this week. How about you just do what's working? But all right, so it's my turn now, actually. So I was thinking about going tight end, but I think it's going to be too early with the tight ends I see on the board. So I got to go running back here. I don't know yet who I'm going to take. With Zeke not practicing today, that seems like a huge gamble. So I don't feel like, dude, there's no fucking running backs here. Dude, two of these running backs are hurt. Who the fuck does...
Dude, the running backs are all garbage. There's one in my mind that sticks out. It was like just the safest pick.
It's not even that they're garbage. Two of these guys are fucking hurt. Like I'm not picking someone that's hurt. I don't really feel good with any of these guys.
And remember, power-ups are in play.
Power-ups are in play.
Do you guys want to make it like? Should we just say your first 2 rounds are untouchable?
Yeah, first 2 rounds. That's what I meant. Like the third round kind of picks up.
So you can get your third player taken from you.
So I'm gonna go with the safe pick here, who I think Paul's thinking the same thing. I'm gonna go with the safe pick here, guy that you know is gonna get the rock and that is currently healthy, although he does have a extensive injury history. I'm gonna go Raheem Mostert here.
Nice. Touchdown dependent and splitting carries with Wilson. We don't really know what's going on in that backfield now because it was looking like when Chase Edmonds was the running back, it was like all Mostert, and now Jeff Wilson outsnaps Mostert. Granted, it was by like 2 snaps, but definitely scored more fantasy points because of that touchdown that he had. But It's the best running back on the board right now that you can at least trust.
Yeah, it's really a shame how, because I see Najee Harris's name on the board, but it's just, dude, he's just fallen off so much, man. This is coming from an owner that had him last year, and he was big for me, like down the stretch, going to the championship game and ultimately finishing in second by like 4 yards. But it's a shame how much he's fallen off, and it's pretty telling that I'd rather have Mostert over Najee Harris at this point.
So congratulations to Mostert. You don't suck that much. So
yeah, good for you, Raheem.
You are worthy. So here we go. So you both have quarterbacks here. So I think I'm going to lean away from going quarterbacks here and see how this draft shakes out here. I think I'm just going to continue to fill out my positions. I'm going to go ahead and TJ Hawkinson. I think that is some positional advantage here. He is looking good in a Vikings uniform, and he actually went against the Commanders, who were actually playing pretty good defense against tight ends this year. So, and now TJ Hawkinson goes against the Bills, which again, they have a great defense, but they have been giving up a little bit more points than the Commanders have against tight ends. So I'm going to go ahead and snag my tight end spot here. So TJ Hawkinson, welcome to the squad.
I think he is doing exactly what the Vikings were hoping Irv Smith would do for them. But Irv Smith just can't stay healthy, which is why they went up and traded for him. I mean, we've seen Hawkinson. He has the talent of a top 3 guy. He's got the talent of Darren Waller. He's got the talent, maybe not George Kittle. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Mark Andrews are kind of in a league of their own, but Hawkinson definitely has a talent. John, he did get 9 freaking targets last week.
No touchdowns. That's always promising. It's like, okay, if you can do that without scoring touchdowns, then what are you going to do when you do score a touchdown, which means that his ceiling can get even higher.
Yeah. No, that's a great pick, John. But before you go further, my Ravens are up 14-0.
Yeah, dude, they're looking great.
Absolutely great.
All right, guys, I'm just going to continue to make a roll here. I am just loving my team in terms of ceiling. DeAndre Swift is by far my worst player right now on my squad. I'm going to try and make up for that by going with a little sleeper pick here, and that's Jerry Jeudy off of a bye week. He's going to be my flex player. He's had a pretty solid last 2 games, 16 points and 18 points. I'm hoping that the bye week helped him rest up a little bit. Maybe
wait.
What?
Sorry. John, I totally forgot to do it. I'm going to use my takeaway power-up on TJ Hawkinson.
It's not your pick.
Okay, never mind. I didn't know if we were doing it when I pick or when you pick.
Oh, yeah. No, when you pick that. It's in place of your draft pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you use a power-up.
Already revealed his hand.
I already showed my hand, so.
That's okay.
Looks like I'll have to do more vodka.
So, John, use that block if you need it.
Yep, I've got a plan. I hope it works. But so I'm gonna utilize Jerry Jeudy here, and as we go into the remaining part of the 5th round, we got Dalton Schultz, Ezekiel Elliott, Jimmy G, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet, Kareem Hunt. Those are some of the big names. Gerald Everett, Najee Harris, Kirk Cousins,
right.
Although no one really needs a quarterback. So Bob, take it away. It's the 5th round, and you can do whatever you want here.
Oh, thanks, John. Thanks, I appreciate it.
You can do whatever you want, Bob.
Oh, thank you.
just don't steal any of my players.
Right. So again, I was thinking tight end here, but I keep forgetting about these power ups. So now all my ideas are flowing and everything like that. And maybe a guy that I should have picked before Mostert, forgot that he was there. I'm gonna pick him now, and he's playing the team that's playing on Monday Night Football right now. And that's Najee Harris of the Steelers. I am picking him now. At this point, you don't really expect much from Najee Harris, but he has been like a consistent 11, 12-point floor. So maybe if he can get into the end zone, you could get into the upper teens, which in this DFS format, that is huge. So, yeah, I don't feel great about it. I guess that perceived upside in the 5th round could be good. I did want to go tight ends though, but I can't pass up. I got to get some at least I know he's going to get the ball.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
All right, Joanne, I kind of led with it already, but I'm going to attempt to use my takeaway on TJ Hawkinson.
So you want TJ Hawkinson, huh, Paul?
I do, but I really do.
All right. So, you can have him. You can have TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, I'm not gonna utilize my block card here.
I know
so,
John's. I know
so
John.
He's gonna be your 5th round pick. Now, do I get to fill my slot? Like, we didn't really talk about this here.
Yeah. So after I steal him, you absolutely get to pick now. So you get to pick before me again.
Because Bob, I'm actually not gonna do what you think I'm gonna do. I did think about it, but I think I'm going to. Oh man. I'm going to use my swap card and give Paul Jerry Jeudy, and I'm going to take Kyler Murray from him.
Oh, John, I'm going to block you.
Oh, fine with me. Now you only have one more power up left.
No.
I guess I lose my flea flicker. Okay. All right, that's fine. So that was interesting. Okay, so I have to pick someone from the pool now, unless of course I want to try and use another power up and steal, because I could essentially steal someone from Paul right now.
You could, and I can't block you.
Yeah. So.
But you can't steal Kyler Murray. You can't try and do a swap and then steal the same player. That's what I'm saying. Like the block should go to one player.
here's a rule.
Because then you can just double down
use-
on your power ups and
you can't-
eventually get the guy that you want. It doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense.
You can't use power ups. You can't do it 2 in a row. That you can't.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fine. I think we have a pretty general rule here. So I'm just gonna pick someone from the pool here. Okay, and I'm without a fucking tight end and a quarterback. And I know Bob's gonna go for a tight end. Paul doesn't need to go for a tight end. So I feel like I have to go for a tight end here. Sorry, Bob. I probably am gonna do it. And
Bullshit.
I just don't know what the best option is. You
Maybe-
can blame Paul for that.
These are the power ups. This is what makes it fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Not fun when you're getting fucked.
No
I
one
just
likes being
lost.
fucked.
I just lost my positional advantage here. I'm gonna go with Cole Kmet. I think the defense kind of sucks on the Lions, which is who they're playing. I did have other options for tight end. I'm feeling the pressure right now. I'm a little scatterbrained. Paul, you really shook me by one stealing TJ, me not blocking it, and then blocking my swap. But I feel like this is gonna come around and hurt you because you're defenseless now. Bob, maybe you should take something. So. Cole Kmet, you are mine. Bob, are you pissed that I picked Cole Kmet there?
No, because Bob's going to get Gerald Everett.
That's what I thought he was going to go after.
You guys are slacking if you think that I'm picking either one of those guys.
Okay, fine, dude. Have fun
Who else do you like on here?
Have fun with Dalton Schultz.
Oh, sorry. Dak Prescott's favorite receiver.
Is Dalton Schultz even on here? Oh, geez, he is. Yeah,
right,
have fun with that.
So just for our listeners, that got a little scattered there. But just to make everything clear here, Paul took TJ Hawkinson from me. I didn't block it. I tried to come back at him and swap Jerry Jeudy, my 5th round pick, for his 4th round Kyler Murray. He blocked it. So Paul has one power up left. He can use his Flea Flicker power up, which is like a swap card. And it's also his pick right now at the beginning of the 6th round. So Paul, you have a handful of players to choose from. You need a running back and a flex position.
Yeah, so just looking on what's left of the board, I'll run over real quick. So Dalton Schultz is available, which I could take in the flex and just screw Bobby over, which would be hilarious.
Yep, DFS is mean.
Yeah, Jimmy G, Kareem Hunt, Kirk Cousins, Gus Edwards, Zeke Elliott, Chase Claypool, Gerald Everett, Adam Thielen, Marquez Valdez-Scanlon, Michael Pittman, Derek Carr, Keenan Allen. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna ruin Bob. He can have his little Dalton Schultz. He can have his little buddy.
He would steal him right from you, by the way.
Yeah. So I would just
don't
end up getting...
Don't belittle Dalton Schultz, acting like he's not like relevant when Dak Prescott's a quarterback.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Like he's fun, but he's not a CeeDee Lamb.
Paul, he's not Mark Andrews.
He's not Mark Andrews. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with, dare I say, let me just look at the matchup real quick before I officially do it. But I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt against the Dolphins. I'm going to fill my RB2. Kareem Hunt is a kind of a 10-point floor. Can we all agree with that? And PPR
not this year.
23, 9.4, 9.1, 8.8, 14.7. Oh, he only got 1 point against the Patriots, but that's 8 and 11. So, I mean,
average out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and when he goes against those green defenses, he is averaging like 12 points against them. So.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, it could be a shootout. It could be a high-scoring game. So I am hoping that Kareem Hunt gets involved in the pass game a lot more against the Dolphins. So as my RB2, I am not mad about that. So I'm going to go Kareem Hunt.
All right, perfect, dude. Nice job. Kareem Hunt onto your team. You got it. All right, Bob, what are you going to do here? I feel like you're like rubbing your hands together, like ready to scheme something here.
Dude, honestly, none of the players because we're still only doing it after the 3rd round, correct?
No, only the first 2 rounds are locked. I made a mistake in the beginning saying the first 3 rounds are locked, but you can take the 3rd round on.
So honestly, there is one player I might be targeting, but I might save him for later and might throw it in later for a curveball. But honestly, you guys already know who I'm going to pick because I've talked about him already enough. And I honestly think he's the best player, frankly, on the board, considering that I already have a quarterback filled. So I think he's the best player on the board right now, and he's probably the most consistent, at least with Dak Prescott at quarterback. So I'm going to go Dalton Schultz here.
Dalton Schultz. All right. And I am tight endless right now. But I don't know if I really want Dalton Schultz. I really want TJ Hawkinson back.
John, you assumed that I wouldn't block that.
Yeah, you're right. I am. All right. So this is interesting. Okay.
By interesting, you mean shitty.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take. I got to go with a tight end here. So I'm going to go ahead and take Gerald Everett, I guess. God damn it, dude. My team really took a turn for the worse. Oh, we already have a tight end, so I don't need Gerald Everett. I have Cole Kmet because I picked him in that fourth.
No, you can take Gerald Everett for your flex. You can't even take him for your flex.
Yeah, so I need a running back or a quarterback here. So out of my running backs, I've got Zeke or Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Gus Edwards. And quite honestly, dude, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Gus Edwards, they might get me like 5 points. And
Just know, John, if you pick Gus Edwards and he doesn't play, that's on you.
I know. And so I think I'm going to go with Zeke here and hope he plays and just hope he splits carries with Pollard and gets me like 10 points. Because that's what he's been doing when he splits carries with Pollard. So Ezekiel Elliott, you can come to my team. That means that most likely Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Gus Edwards will not be getting drafted this week. So that's my 6th round pick. So I got Zeke in there. And I think I'm going to use one of my power-ups here. So I'm going to go ahead. I can't risk Bob. I can't lose both my offensive power-ups and steal something from Bob. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use my takeaway card and take Kyler Murray off of Paul.
Wait, I already blocked him.
Let's go.
Dude, no, I already blocked him. That's ridiculous.
You use your block card on my flea flicker.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you get to double down on your power-ups and take the guy that you wanted. Then what's the point of a block?
Yeah, didn't we say that already?
Oh, yeah, you're right, we did. Wow, so I really
No, you still have your takeaway, just you can't do Kyler Murray. That's why
I can't even do it because I can't take Bob's quarterback. This is crumbling on me, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the block should be
all right.
given to a player.
This is going to be great next week when we have everything refined and so much better.
All right, so I have to pick a quarterback here. I'm going between Jimmy Garoppolo or Kirk Cousins. Derek Carr is not even an option for me. So Jimmy G gets the Chargers. Their defense is nothing spectacular anymore. And then Kirk Cousins is going against the Bills. So I gotta just go with Jimmy G here. So
solid floor, though.
Yeah, solid floor. And for a 7th round pick, if I can have my 7th round pick, just score me 10 points, then I'm happy. But DeAndre Swift isn't guaranteed to get 10 points. Cole Kmet's not guaranteed to get 10 points. Zeke's not even guaranteed to play. I have a chance of scoring a bunch of donuts next week. But we're just going to – this whole thing's about just shooting for the stars. So, Jimmy G, you are officially off the board.
Paul's done.
And I'm not going to be able to use any of my power-ups anymore unless, of course, I get someone stolen from me. But I'll most likely use my block. So you guys can try. You can go ahead and try. Bob, what do you have for your last pick?
I was thinking about stealing someone from you, John, but honestly, I found someone from Paul that I want to steal more. And knowing that he can't block it, I'm just going to take him. So, Paul, I'm sorry, but I'm using my steal card on Allen Lazard.
Oh, no.
Did we just lose Paul? No, he's back. The shock of me stealing Lazard killed him.
No, okay, so here's the thing. The cat jumped on the screen. But you can't steal my 3rd round pick in the 7th round. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That's the point of power up.
No, the point of power up is you use it per round. That's ridiculous that you get to steal a 3rd round and 7th round. That's
give me Allen Lazard. Give me Allen Lazard.
No, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Paul, that's why you don't use your block card, bro.
No, dude, listen, you can't steal a 3rd round pick in the 7th round. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, sorry, you should have thought about that before.
No, dude, no, I won't do this. That's ridiculous.
Paul, you
That is
got to pick
absurd.
between. Paul, you got to pick between Chase
No.
Claypool.
No, dude, that is so stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I think
That
that's
is
fair.
so stupid. You
Paul.
can't use your 7th round for a 3rd round. In what logical world does that make sense?
Paul, just
In the-
use your
No.
flea flicker. Just swap Kareem Hunt out for somebody.
All right, yeah, I'll use my flea flicker and I'll get Alan Lazard back.
Yeah, and you'll be blocked.
Dude, no, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Hold on, hold on. Who would you use your flea flicker for? Maybe Bob would be inclined to have that person.
Completely absurd that somebody can use their 7th round pick to swap for a 3rd round pick. That is just,
dude.
You're only saying that because you used all your shit already.
No,
Yeah,
because that's ridiculous. That's just you cheating the system, Bob. You claim to be a logical person and you're not being logical right now.
I think that's
In
very
what world
logical.
does
He
it
needed
make
to
sense
use
to
all
do
his
that?
power
It has
ups
to be
for
like
the
a
final
per
round.
round basis. It's a per round basis.
I'm just
No.
going based off the rules that
Yeah,
were
Brother,
instilled.
we gotta fix the rules then. This is ridiculous.
We said 3rd round all. We made
Yeah,
first of all,
3rd
Paul,
round, but you have
made
to
up-
do it per round.
First
Per
of all,
round.
Paul, you made up a rule that benefited your team. I think it's very fair.
What rule benefited my team?
You made up 2. One, you
That
can't
wasn't out of the logic.
you can't touch a player twice.
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to take Kyler Murray, and I tried to utilize 2 different power ups to get him, and I can't do that. So that
No,
kept
dude,
Kyler
you
Murray
can't
on your
take
team.
a dude. Whatever.
Paul's
This
the
is bullshit.
Paul, you're just
bullshit.
upset because you are getting screwed at the end.
No, this is ridiculous. No, this is stupid. This doesn't make any sense.
Paul, maybe
Eighth
you're
round
not
pick.
hard.
You get to take my 3rd round pick in the 7th round.
Dude,
Here,
you got
here, never mind. We'll swap. I'll swap you.
No, I don't want anybody from your shit team.
Paul, don't come on my team, bro. Jeez.
Then swap me Christian Kirk. It has to be a round per round thing.
No, Paul,
No,
you can't make the rules yourself. You can't make the rules yourself. That's not fair.
No, dude, that's ridiculous. No, we're fixing this. This is bullshit.
Hey, Paul, can I just have the talking mic real quick? I want to say
fuck
that
you. Fuck both of you.
You get to keep Kyler Murray on your team, okay?
Yeah.
So be
Fuck
happy.
you. Fuck both of you. This is bullshit.
You utilized your block card to keep Kyler Murray, and you're losing Alan Lazard. I'm going to tell you right now, Kyler Murray is going to score more points than Alan Lazard, so you should be thankful you utilized your block card there.
No, dude, you can't use the 7th round pick
Paul's
to
drunk.
steal somebody in the 3rd round. That's ridiculous.
Then don't
It
use
has
your
to be a
block
per
cards
round
until the end
basis.
of-
You steal somebody in that round.
Paul, we made the rules very clear that anyone, you utilize your power-ups as your draft pick, and you can take anyone from the 3rd round on.
Dude.
We did not once say until just now when you got your player taken that it has to be.
I won't stand for
round
this in the future. Like, I will not do this in the future. We're making a rule for the next week that it has to be a per
Paul,
round
you
basis.
can't.
You
Paul,
can't
you're not.
take
Paul,
somebody's
you're not
third
the winner
round
of the eye
pick.
test
You can't
podcast.
take somebody's 3rd round pick in the 7th round.
Me and Bob
That's
are going to overrule
ridiculous.
that every time, whether it's tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to still say, no, you can do that. You can do it to my team.
Dude, I'm done. I'm not doing the podcast anymore. See you guys. It's all you guys.
Hey, dude.
All right.
Jesus
John,
Christ.
it's me and
You
you.
guys are so stupid. This is ridiculous.
Welcome to
Paul.
the John and Bob podcast. Fuck.
Paul, you can't be the Hitler of the podcast where you're making all the rules, but when the rule goes against you, then it's not okay.
Dude, oh my God.
You know you're being unfair too.
No, I'm not being unfair.
Yes,
I'm being
you are.
completely fair. You're
You
being
were just
unfair.
saying, that's power-ups, baby. That's power-ups.
Yeah.
That's power-ups,
No, that's
baby.
power
That's
ups
the name
when
of the
you use it
podcast.
per round.
Paul, me and John
We
are on
never
the same
said
page.
that.
Paul,
Dude,
me and
that
John
is-
are on the same page.
Jesus God. Whatever. Fuck both of you.
Paul, the good news is you get to fill your 3rd place slot right now.
Yes, sick. Give me Chase Claypool.
Okay.
This is so stupid. This is so stupid.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
No, dude, this
Yeah.
is ridiculous. No, this is
What
so.
happens if Chase Claypool does better than Alan Lazard? Then are you going to
Then
come
you
back?
won't
"Oh,
care.
you could have-"
No,
This
it's
is
so
great.
Then you
ridiculous.
won't care. Paul, you won't care if your team score points than mine this week.
I will still care because you
No,
can't
you
use
won't.
your
No, you
7th
won't.
round pick
Yeah,
to
you
steal a
definitely
3rd
will
round
not
pick.
care.
That is so
will-
stupid.
You won't care. You won't care.
In no world does that make sense that you can do that. That's like in a regular draft being like, oh, by the way, yeah, you want Raheem Mostert or Jalen Waddle? Yeah, obviously you're going to pick Jalen Waddle. You guys are
What?
stupid fucks.
No.
Oh, my God.
Paul, it's your pick for the 7th round, and then I think you need a nap, and then
Yeah,
you know
you definitely
No,
need
dude, you guys, this actually pissed me off.
Dude, you need to just like go watch the Ravens. They're winning, bro. Don't ruin it.
No, dude, you guys are so stupid.
Kenyon Drake looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
shut the fuck up.
If
Paul,
Paul's team wins
So
this week, he won't
illogical, and just not how this was like. This isn't how it was supposed to.
it's all Paul's vision. No one's else's opinion matters.
welcome
Dude,
to Paul's
no,
podcast. Welcome to
no,
Paul's
Yeah.
DFS Draft, where we have to do exactly what Paul says. So
that,
he gets
dude, no, you can't take. Oh my god.
Paul, it's not like I'm taking like your Alvin Kamara from you in the 7th. Like
Yeah.
I'm taking Alan
It's
Lazard.
still my 3rd round pick for your 7th round
fucking
pick. And
Alan
what
Lazard.
you're supposed to swap
Lazard.
per round.
You got to keep Kyler Murray on your team. Like, be happy. You used your block for a very good pick.
I didn't realize you had a
get to-
crush
you
on
get
Alan
to-
Lazard.
Dude, no, I'm telling you, if you ask a bunch of people, it does not make sense that this,
Yeah.
whatever.
Paul, look, put it this way. If Bob agreed with you and I was the contrarian, I'd be like, okay, you're right. We'll do what you guys are saying. So I'm surprised that you haven't done that yet. You're really trying to die on this hill.
It's because he's drinking liquor. That's the problem.
I will die on this
We'll
hill
get
because this is
so
like
violent.
ridiculous.
You're drinking liquor. If
It's
you are
ridiculous.
drinking
Now
liquor,
I have 2 7th round picks essentially. I have 2 bottom of the barrel picks.
you shouldn't have used your power ups early then.
Dude, okay. I'm gonna find a way to cheat this system and fuck both of you.
That's
we
the
both,
attitude.
we both have our blocks, so good luck.
Not this week, but in the upcoming weeks. You guys are
That's
fucked.
the attitude I like, Paul. There we
Yeah,
go.
me too. That's good.
No,
That's-
go fuck yourselves, both of you.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, I'm left with a bunch of shit here.
Keenan Allen might come back.
Go fuck yourself.
Dude, he could. You're taking a gamble, but he might. Steal of the draft, honestly.
How many touchdowns has Adam Thielen scored?
1 or 2, maybe. This is fun. See, this is how I envisioned it
Yeah,
going.
this is how power up should go. It should cause some power ups. Like,
no,
this-
dude, I'm actually like pissed off.
Good. You should be.
Jeez.
I really wanted T-Hawk on my team. You didn't hear
No,
me.
you
after
didn't.
that.
You gave him to me without a doubt, without even thinking.
Because
about
I knew this was gonna happen, Paul, where I needed my blocks, and losing a tight end is not my biggest concern.
We were clearly not on the same page on how these power-ups worked. Like,
We were. We went over all the rules in the beginning. And
so
no one had
if I
objection
try to
to
do
what
a
happened.
flea flicker, you guys are obviously going to block whoever I do. So
Correct.
Yeah, you're beat. You're beat.
Unless you swap me a player that I like, we'll see.
Yeah, true. It's like a trade, but that favors John or me.
Right. Paul, I'll allow you to propose a trade to me or Bobby.
no, I don't want to deal with any of you. I'm going to win this week.
But you have to give me 8 handicap points.
No. We didn't include. I love the handicap points.
We'll do that next week. That'll be our next
Bingo.
power up. And don't worry, we'll have a whole hour-long meeting beforehand on what a trade entails.
We'll write it up. We'll put it in.
I can't trade for my good players. I get your players, but you get my 7th round pick.
No, dude, that's bullshit. You guys know it's bullshit too, and that's what pisses me
No.
off that you're
This is
not.
what we
really-
talked about.
Paul, if I knew it was bullshit, I would have given up already. Like, I would have been like,
Dude.
okay, yeah, you're right. It's a little
No.
unfair. Just like it's unfair to, like, go back and for me to try and get Kyler Murray. Like, you both turned me down. That was like a 30-second thing. Okay, I can't touch Kyler Murray again. My bad.
You guys are dead to me.
And that was not a rule we made even in the beginning of the podcast. That was a rule that came up in the middle of
We
it.
finally found out Paul's true intentions. He just wants this to be like his podcast.
Dude, it's Alan Lazard. Like, dude, it's not
It's my 3rd round pick.
like, dude.
It's
There's a
fucking-
chance Chase Claypool does better than Brandon Ayuk this week. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, we're not picking all. This is why it's fun because we're not picking all studs and stuff. So you're not losing like a fucking guy that's guaranteed like 25 points.
I will die on this hill that you should not be able to use it in the 7th round for a 3rd round pick. That's just ridiculous.
You're gonna lose that because I like this. This is fun. I'd be pissed if it was me, but I wouldn't be dying up on the hill for sure.
Oh, I'll die on the hill.
Who's your flex pick? We're running up on
Dude,
time.
who fucking gives a shit?
The longer you cry about this, the less time you're going to get to watch the Ravens with your friends.
All right,
Yeah.
Michael Pittman, just sign me up.
Oh, dude, that's such a bad pick.
That's the last thing to say right now.
Are we done recording? Can I go?
No, Paul, we have to talk about our teams.
No, fuck both of
Would
you.
anybody like to use Bob? You have power ups. I have power ups. Bob, would you like to go ahead and?
I think I've caused Paul enough pain, so I'll look at your team real quick, John. But you have a block, so I'm sure you're gonna block something unless it's in favor of you. So, and honestly, there's not really someone on your team that really stands out to me as someone that I need to have.
Go ahead, Bob. Just use your power up.
I was thinking maybe Jerry Jeudy, but as I said, I know you have your block, so I'm just going to sit with my team. I like my team. Honestly, I like it even more that I stole Alan Lazard in the 7th.
Yeah, dude, he's going to have a monster week next week.
Dude, when is this over? I cannot wait to leave.
So let's just talk about our teams real quick. Let's start with Bob here. I'll give Paul a little bit of a breather here. Bob, that was a really good move at the end of the draft there, getting Alan Lazard. So your team's looking like Patty Mahomes, Terry McLaurin, Christian Kirk, Raheem Mostert, and Najee Harris. Let's talk about your running back here, because last week you went running back heavy in Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne. Who was the other guy? Eckler, you nailed those two. And then Jacob still found a way to get you double digits. So You took a little bit of a different turn here. What's your thought process here? Was it because Patrick Mahomes was available? Was that kind of what gauged your decision making?
Frankly, I learned from the running back pool there wasn't as many as there was last week. And I definitely suffered from not having a really good quarterback last week. And it's hard to pass up Mahomes with how he's been playing this year. So that's why I went with him one. But my running backs, honestly, again, the pickings were slim. But these are two running backs that at least. Like Mostert may be splitting now with Jeff Wilson, but he's going to be getting the ball. Najee Harris, same deal. Like I'm not taking like a massive gamble on either of these guys. So I'm hoping that at least maybe Najee Harris can get in the end zone. If one of them gets in the end zone, I'll feel good about my prospects this week. And overall, I think I came on stronger towards the end with my team, especially picking up Lazard.
Yeah, no shit. You stole my 3rd round pick. Stupid.
That's just the name of the game. Don't name
Paul. Dude. No, don't you cheated the system.
So we actually did have out of the people that carried over from last week, we did have Pittman and Raheem Mostert get drafted. So those guys are officially off the list. But we did have a couple other carryovers here. So I'm going to go ahead and read those over. Gerald Everett, he makes it another week. Honestly, I thought he was going to get drafted this week. But with Schultz and Kmet, it was really between Kmet and Gerald Everett for me. There's not many receiving options on the Chargers offense for week 10, unless Keenan Allen were to come back, but it may not be looking that way. So that might be a tight end that gets drafted next week if he goes off. But we got Gerald Everett, Adam Thielen, MVS. That dude's never going to get drafted. Michael Carter is on a bye. Derek Carr, Keenan Allen, Clyde Edwards, Kirk Cousins, and Gus Edwards. I expect Gus Edwards to get drafted at some point if he comes back healthy and starts to take back the lead.
You're not gonna mope in the corner for the rest of this, are you?
No, dude, I'm watching the game.
All right. Well, Paul, I just want to talk about your team here. You were the only team to go with a running back in the 1st round. How do you feel about your first 2 picks in Alvin Kamara and Brandon Ayuk? Do you think that's enough to carry you over for the week? Or do you feel like you had some late round sleepers that are going to help as well?
Honestly, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from that argument that we had
Temper
there.
tantrums do that. Temper tantrums
Yeah,
do that.
no, and I apologize if tempers were flared, but I just think it's absolutely ridiculous.
We're probably all going to have a temper tantrum at some point.
I was getting upset when I thought that I was not going to have Dalton Schultz. I was getting a little butthurt too. It happens. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I got Alvin Kamara in the 1st. That's sick. Brandon Ayuk in the 2nd. Nice. I had Alan Lazard in the 3rd, and then just hopes and dreams were ruined. Kind of like the Phillies World Series.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Fine. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. No, that's
No, it's good. I'm pretty good at letting things go. Do you feel like Chase Claypool and Alan Lazard could have similar scoring weeks this week?
No, I think that Alan Lazard is going to score much more than Chase Claypool, which is why I took him in the third round.
But then there's always that what if he doesn't?
Yeah.
Then do
There's
you feel like you would come back and maybe apologize to our viewers?
no, I would never apologize. I don't ever apologize. If you say sorry, it's a sign of weakness. But no, I mean
Paul,
the rules.
how do you feel about your
Oh, I
fourth?
didn't
and fifth round
realize you
pick?
had the temperament of a fifth grader.
Dude, I'm not having the temperament of a fifth grader. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that this happened. But what
Paul,
can I do about it now?
Paul, I bring something to light here. This is just something I noticed. I would like to compliment your team and say that your fourth and fifth rounds are clearly outscoring me and Bob's fourth and fifth rounds. And those are very important rounds to have players that are high scoring. So do you feel confident in Kyler Murray and TJ Hockenson to somewhat carry your team to a high scoring week?
I mean, I really hope so. I have a big gap in my third round pick that should have been Alan Lazard.
Paul.
Dude, I will die on this hill, and I will do it. I'll die on the hill. But what can we do now? It's done and over.
It's
I'm
not
done thinking
changing.
about
It's
it.
not changing either. So you got to do some
Right.
reflecting.
Yeah, you got to look yourself in the mirror and
You don't have to talk to me like I'm 7 years old. But
you're acting like you're 7 years old.
no, I'm not.
Yes,
I think it's ridiculous that we didn't go over the rules before. And
yes,
then
we did.
Yeah,
we all knew them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just heard what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, Paul, you made up a rule in the middle of the podcast, and I guess essentially so did me and Bob, but it was both a 2-1 majority in both of those rules being made, and I guess that's how a rule is made.
No, Paul wants this to be Nazi Germany, where his word goes, everyone else could go fuck themselves.
Hey, Paul, Alvin Kamara just went for a really nice rush, so hopefully he does that in week 10.
Ew, let's go. I'm only less than 3 points away, hopefully.
Okay, nice. And how's Olave doing? Do we have any scoring update on Paul's week 9 DFS?
Oh, Paul's... Dude, don't talk to him right now. Bro.
He's got 9 points.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. Like, I totally get that. I definitely pulled the lid off the pot right there for that thing. I still think it's ridiculous, but there's nothing I can do about it now, clearly. But
yeah, there's not.
I don't know. Kamara, Ayuk, Kyler Murray, Hockenson. Let's just hope that my core puts it together. We'll see if Kareem Hunt. I'm hoping it's a pass-heavy game. If Kareem Hunt could get 6 or 7 catches out of the backfield, I'll be absolutely thrilled.
There we go.
And then who knows? Maybe the firing of Frank Reich in Indy can bring Pittman up to speed.
Dude, Jeff Saturday as the interim head coach. He's
He's a good dude. Jeff Saturday's a good guy. So let's see.
Keep that glass half full.
Yeah, but whatever.
And I'll say about my team, of course, it seems besides Paul's team, running backs are just going to be, do I even say boom or bust? I feel like they're going to be mainly like mid or bust.
Dude, they're going to be like 8 points, like average.
I at least have running backs of relevance, we'll say, where if they were to have a good day, they're going to get me high scoring points. So I need Zeke to get healthy, and I need Swift to just get implemented into that offense. If those don't happen, boy, I'm going to have some donuts for sure, because Broncos offense you can't trust. Even though Judy has been looking pretty good, you can't trust the Broncos, and you can't trust the health of Swift and Zeke right now. So I'm really banking on Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, and Jimmy G, I guess. Those are my players to get me points. So I think we're going to notice lower scoring points than last week in terms of our total. I don't think we're going to see totals that high again. But again, this is fantasy. What looks like on paper rarely results into the real life scoring. So I think part of this fun is just letting it ride out.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet in the 4th. What is the thinking behind that?
Again, that was when I was really scattered. That was right after I lost TJ Hockenson. So I think I felt like I needed to fill my tight end slot before you did. And so I just reached. And I reached last week in the 4th too with Tyler Boyd. So I think that's just what I tend to do. I tend to have the first 3 rounds figured out, and then 4th round I go crazy. But Paul really threw me for a loop when he stole Hockenson. I honestly strategically kept my block for later in the rounds, and I ended up not even using it. So I wonder what would have happened if I had used that block, who would have gotten stolen. And if I have to pick any position to get stolen from me, it'll be my tight end every week, unless it's like one of the big studs. So,
yeah. Damn, I think this draft was definitely more entertaining than the one before. A lot more hard decisions, a lot more variety. and it may result in lower scoring, but I think it'll be more exciting, especially as we recap it next week. So I'm looking forward to that. And we will be back for our look ahead to week
10.
10. Wow, Jam. The season is absolutely flying by.